Hello, I'm Lesley Logan, and today I want to talk to you about hip clicking when you are on your Cadillac and tower. So, we talk a lot about hip clicking on the mat and how to work around that. I talk about the FAS a lot, which the FAS is where your thigh meets your booty, right? So, um, on the mat, that's a very common place to have it because you don't have a lot of springs, you don't have a lot of assistance. And so I love to give feedback for that because I love that the mat is the most accessible thing that's out there. But if you do have access to a Cadillac or tower, even on a reformer, hip clicking still happens, right? And that's just because that the hip clicking is a sign that you are not actually engaging all of the muscles. And it's tempting for us to fall into our more dominant muscles, which are those hip flexors, because we spend so much time sitting, right? So one of the places that hip clicking can happen is in the rollback exercise. So with the rollback bar, when you start your setup, a lot of people will start with their legs straight. I do like people to start with the legs bent. However, if they go into their same habits of what they would do with their legs straight, which is just letting the hip flexors lower them down, I already can feel the click wanting to happen. The same thing can happen in the bent leg, but what's nice about the bent leg is I can actually push down into my heels, it gives me more accessibility to my ankle, and push forward. So when I roll back, I'm actually engaging all the muscles around my fast. Therefore, I can roll down and roll up. If you're in this position and you're doing everything I just said, you're like, Lesley, it still clicks. Stay tuned. I have some exercises for you. But it's what you want to do is be able to feel your heels, your arches reach that pole so that your fast can engage and you can roll down and up instead of letting your hip flexor lower you down. The same thing can happen in people using the push through. So it's a similar position, and therefore we get a little more obsessed with moving the spring versus engaging the leg. So right here, even though we start with straight legs, I'm going to take what I just found out about myself over there. I'm going to reach through my heels and my arches, and I can round back and I can round up. And if I feel that little grip about to happen, I can actually work those muscles. Now, if you're like, Lesley, I can't do that. I don't have those connections yet. That's great. That's what's so amazing about our Cadillac. We actually have the tools to help strengthen those muscles. So you will do things like single leg spring with the spring from the opposite side. So my left one is the one that likes to click. I'm grabbing the right spring. I put it on my left foot, and then I push out and in. So I'm teaching my body how to engage those muscles while it bends and while it straightens. This is going to help me find those muscles when I need them. If you don't have the strength to activate a muscle, you don't have, like you're asking a lot for something you can't do it, right? So it's important to prepare it. And then you can go down and up. We have this whole tutorial on the Cadillac playlist. So if you are wanting to have all the details of it, you can go ahead and look at the single leg springs with the spring from across, okay? Another thing you can do if you have access to the trapeze. Now, not everyone does. If you have a tower, you're going to want to use like a fitness ball or a Bosu, which is not any easier. But if you have access to a trapeze, you can put your ankles in the trapeze. Ideally, you want that trapeze straight up and down, and then you can lift your hips and lower. And you should feel this in the back of those legs. And then when that starts to feel like, okay, I'm able to engage these muscles with that, I can take one leg out, and then you'll see my left hip has to work on its own to go up and down. And so all of that is going to help you strengthen those fast muscles when you're moving. So if you're finding hip clicking happening throughout your equipment exercises that we discussed today, one, you can always go back to the exercise we've taught to you about the fast. Those exist on our channel always. We also have a workshop on onlinepilatesclasses.com that will teach you those things. But you also just have to remember you have to engage those muscles. And so that's where the springs can come in. They can really help teach you how to train those muscles up to strength so you can call upon them when you have a click instead of going, oh, I have this click. To like let yourself go, oh, thank you, body, for letting me know I'm not as engaged as I could be. So often we get a little upset we can't do something, but really it's just our body letting us know we get to be more curious or we have more work to do. At onlinepilatesclasses.com, we focus on strengthening these parts of our body and helping you do life better. So if you have any questions for us, you can always post in the comments below. If you're an OPC member, you actually can submit videos of yourself doing exercises to get feedback. And so we're happy to do that over there for you. And until next time, have an amazing day.